So just go into your local Quality Dairy and ask for the John Hates Movies Good Burger review.
Quality Dairy, man. You know, they used to have the dopest fucking Pac-Man cookies. They're like sugar cookies. They had all yellow frosting on them. They were in the shape of Pac-Man. They had a little like frosting eye, and they stopped doing them. And they had smiley face cookies too. And they were the best fucking cookies. You got fired for making Pac-Man cookies.
Yeah.
Am I the only person?
You need a triangle out of them and then just put them back on the shelf.
I remember them, but I didn't eat them because I didn't eat cookies.
So I'm not crazy. Somebody else remembers making cookies.
They're
okay, Lansing listeners, if you remember the Pac-Man cookie, like say something on the page.
Yeah, shout us out on Facebook.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And we need to tell Quality Dairy to bring back the Pac-Man cookie.
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel. I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast, where my friends prevent me from rubbing pizza all over my body instead of eating it, and instead force me to watch movies.
I know, you're a fat kid that's just wasting the food.
I think I missed it. I must have been texting during that part or something. I don't remember that.
It wasn't just pizza. There was chocolate, marshmallows,
and
deal.
during the whole hedonistic party overdrive.
Of course, my eyes are only for pizza.
Right.
So, this week we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally ho.
We have Chris Arsenault.
Go-karts are awesome, but not without motors.
We have James Barrup.
So, did you like the... Wait until I finish the fucking line!
And Colin McMillan.
I got plans for the summer. I'm gonna hang out.
I'm your host, John Barrup, and this week we watched Heavyweights.
Woo!
A Disney film.
Disney.
It says Disney Heavyweights. Disney. Just Disney.
Not Disney.
It doesn't say Disney's. It says Disney.
When I hear like Disney heavyweights, I think of like Hercules and
Mickey Mouse,
Gaston.
Goofy.
The buff
like
Disney
all
guys.
Oh, okay.
Like Prince Eric.
Right.
I'm going to start a production company called Disney's.
Disney's. So Heavyweights.
Do all the offshoot, those crappy straight-to-video animations. There you go.
It's like terrible D's Nuts jokes, except it's Disney's.
Jesus.
Hey, do you like C Dis? Cause C Disney's.
Boo. All right, so Heavyweights. A summer retreat for overweight boys is taken over by a tyrannical fitness guru who puts the kids on a cruel regimen that goes too far. That description just really sounds like he kills one of them.
He tries.
That could be like a tagline for a murder, like a horror movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like a regimen that goes too far.
Too far.
Friday the 13th.
Starring Tom McGowan, Aaron Schwartz, and Ben Stiller. Directed by Stephen Brill.
And written by Judd Apatow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What about that, huh? I'm sure we'll definitely talk about that because
it's really going to make you lose your Apatow.
Yeah. Yeah, if you ever wanted to see what happens when a really well-regarded and funny writer has to work for Disney, this is a good one. So, as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie gets to review it first. Eric!
Yes.
Give us a fat review.
Man, it's like I'm feeling deja vu. It's almost like we started recording the podcast, but then we realized we weren't recording, so then we started again.
Never happened.
No,
I mean,
no.
None of
We
that
don't
happened.
have
Fortunately,
technical
we
difficulties
seem to be a lot
ever.
funnier on take two. So
Well, I mean, quite honestly, because we're doing this live, I don't see how that could possibly be
Right.
the case.
We
live and
we
unedited.
put out for an
Direct from Hot
episode
Sauce
exactly
Studios to your
what we
living room.
record in one take.
Yeah.
No editing.
No
Yeah.
editing at all.
Oh yeah, okay. So I picked heavyweights because I mean, come on, I watched this movie back when I was 12 with my friends at a sleepover, and I fucking loved it. And like how you guys are nostalgic for Superman because you guys apparently watch like real movies when you were a kid. I watch fucking heavyweights like
So
this.
what you're saying is nostalgia is another word for I remember a really shitty movie well.
Absolutely.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Movies with swears.
So yeah, like I
But
remembered this movie fondly from when I was a kid. I remembered The Blob. I remembered playing Hide the Salami.
That means two things.
Right.
Entendre.
And yeah, this movie, upon rewatching, not great. There are a lot of things that 12-year-old Eric thought were dope that 32-year-old Eric, fucking 20 years in the holy shit, I'm old, doesn't quite think are as dope.
Interim years. Let's not put numbers on things here.
so would you say that it's 32-year-old Eric or 12-year-old Eric that thought dope was the appropriate way to describe it?
Probably 12. So yeah, so a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of the production of John Hates Movies. We're doing this again, but I don't care.
Let's open the kimono.
Right. So James, Chris, and I all hung out last Saturday night and grilled up some burgers. Well, didn't grill them.
Awesome. Wow.
We fried up some burgers.
Pan fried.
Yeah.
They were some delicious.
Had some fucking
burgers.
Lay's.
Potato chips.
Had some Doritos.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Drank some RC Cola.
Royal Crown Cola.
The preferred cola of the Queen.
It's conveniently available at the corner store, and it's still only $1.
Yeah,
Even if it's
Colin.
outside next to the dumpster.
So wait, if it's
And
next
it's
to the
me,
dumpster,
and the
do I have to
person
take
who
it
takes my
in
$5.
to pay?
John's out dealing RC Cola behind the dumpster. He's like, hey man, I got the good stuff,
Yeah.
Man.
See, Colin, the nice thing about RC Cola is it's 99 cents because it says on the bottle that it's 99 cents. They can't jack the price of that shit up. It's
No
fucking
fucking you
fixed
around.
price.
Yep.
Because in '92 they printed like 10 million labels. And they can't afford another label run until they use them all.
Right. So anyway, rewatching Heavyweights last week reminded me that no, nostalgia is bullshit. The things that you remembered as being good when you were a kid are usually not good. But the other thing that watching Heavyweights taught me is the value of friendship.
Aw.
And burgers.
Yeah.
Like, a good friend is like a good burger.
Did you say
A
good
little bit
burger?
warm.
Did you say Good Burger?
Did you say Good Burger?
Kind
Yes,
of
Good
juicy.
I heard that was a pretty good movie. We'd review that.
Listeners, stay tuned for episode 100 because I feel like you might get to hear our Good Burger review.
It's on the feed. They can listen to it anytime.
Oh, that's true.
It's out there. If they want to listen to it, they can just listen to it.
if they dig
Really?
hard enough.
It's in the deep web.
You've got to download the Tor client.
Web 1.0.
Right.
It's available. It's available to download through your local peer-to-peer LimeWire.
It's available wherever RC Cola is sold.
Right.
So, like I said, watching Good Burger. For fuck's sake,
Or heavyweights.
Right, watching Heavyweights reminds you of the value of good friends, because we all hung out and watched this movie, and this is not a good movie. The jokes are not funny, and it's not even so good that, or it's not even so bad that it's good.
No.
It's just a movie. But when you do it with your friends, you feel a lot better.
Because they're suffering too.
Yep.
So, like, you know, I was just sitting there thinking about, oh, hey, yeah, this movie is definitely not what I remembered. Chris had never seen the movie before, so he was just kind of like laughing along with me at how stupid the movie was. James was looking up old like clips and old outtakes from what didn't make it into the final cut of Heavyweights.
The adult version, apparently.
Yeah. And it was a good
With like
time.
the sex scene between Nurse and camp
Yeah.
Are you
counselor.
serious?
Pat.
Yeah,
Yes.
apparently he totally got
What?
some. That's why he's so like
That's why he's so
commanding at the
confident.
end.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's why
He's
he
like,
comes back so
I
confident.
had sex.
At the hedonistic night.
sex.
And it felt so good.
That's a called my parents.
Cried the whole time. Doesn't matter. Had sex.
So after watching Heavyweights, what I was left with and what I thought about after watching this movie wasn't about the movie. It was just about my experiences going to camp when I was younger. And I'm pretty sure, like, other than band camp, I was the only one of us that went to like summer camp.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't just any old summer camp. It was Christian summer camp. And yeah, like
Jesus.
exactly.
Indeed.
Jesus in the morning, Jesus at night.
Jesus at supper time.
Makes
When
me
it's-
feel
when it's-
all right.
When it's communion and Jesus is on the table.
Oh man.
That's a sacrament joke for all you Catholics out there.
I think that's a sacrilege joke.
All you Catholics out there, enjoy your haunted bread.
What I
Go to
really
an all-you-can-eat Jesus buffet.
yes, that's church on Sunday.
Yeah.
It's only wafer thin.
Oh boy! So for any
A
of
lot
our
of carbs.
all right, so now that we've weeded out all of our religious listeners,
Right.
I'm gonna just plow forward here. So the thing I remember most about summer camp when I was a kid, other than being too scared to take a shower because I didn't want to be naked in front of all the other kids, so I just like came back home at like just rank at the end of the week. Is that without fail, every single year at Christian summer camp, one of my friends or just somebody would find a way to spread the rumor that I was gay.
Oh, fucking asshole.
What?
Or just like start calling me gay and then it catches on. So like the first year I went to summer camp, I like pulled my socks up because I was wearing like athletic socks.
Let's reestablish that he got rumors started about him about being gay at his Christian summer camp.
I'm serious. So like the very first
They were trying to
year
be inclusive.
the very first year I went, I was wearing like athletic socks and I pulled them all the way up like over my calves. And somebody like came up to me and was like, hey, you know, only gay people wear their socks like that.
What?
And I was like, what? What are you talking about? But then I felt really bad, so I like rolled my socks down.
Oh man.
And then they're like, only gay people roll their socks down.
Right. But the worst of it was the very last time I went to summer camp, and I was there with two quote unquote friends, and they just decided that it would be the funniest thing to like, and like not as a joke, but just as like a we want to make your week really bad, like start telling everybody, no, it's not like he's really gay and his parents send him here because like they want to convert him
Oh man.
to not be gay
Wow.
anymore. That is the truth. So that year at summer camp, they told the camp counselor, like the guy that like was in the room with us,
Wow.
and he got in on the joke. Like he thought it was hilarious.
Oh man.
So like one day, like we're all
Stingy doesn't like that either.
So one day we were all like in the room and the camp counselor needed the change and he was like, okay guys, everybody turn around because I got to change. And so like we all turn around, and he was and just like in the middle of him changing, and I'm like turned around, he goes, "Oh, Eric just snuck a peek."
Oh my
like,
fucking
Wow.
I was like, are you fucking
That's
kidding
awful.
me? Are you fucking kidding me?
That's awful, but that's funny.
It's not
funny.
funny.
It's
That is
dramatic.
not funny.
That's being fucking
No, that's-
bullied
that's-
by a fucking
That's
20-something-year-old.
not funny as in like it's awful it happened to you, but
you
like
are a bad
the-
person, Chris.
but the
Arsenault.
joke
Yeah. Oh,
is
wait, you're
solid.
saying, wait.
Look, I
The
understand that
joke
it's a
is
solid
fundamentally
No, yeah.
solid.
If you want to make a bunch of preteens laugh, like that's a funny joke, but like it
That's
wasn't very
awful.
cool to me.
No,
and they had to like
fucked
be
up.
in the room
Yes.
with those guys all the time.
Right.
All right.
So I still, I like kind of got like a camp girlfriend at the Christian camp that
Nice.
year, and like we were like hanging out and talking all the time and
you
stuff
mean
like
Camp
that.
Beard.
So like we were, and like things were
Nice.
good. She
Nice.
was really cute. Like it was nice. But the last day of camp, she came up to me and she was like, "Hey, so I mean, I guess this has been cool, but I like heard this thing
Oh God.
from these guys. Like, are you really? Like, I heard you were gay." And it's like, yeah, like kids aren't that great.
Well, no, man.
That's a terrible story.
Yeah, this super fucked things up for you. Like that is not cool. I got
mean,
called gay a lot when I was a kid too, but like never to that extent. Like
No, like where it just like becomes a like camp wide thing. Like, no, he's gay and we need to like he's here for like conversion therapy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like it was really bad. So like, and having the girl that like I was hanging out with the whole time be like, are you gay? Like,
Right.
and
Well,
like,
at least she talked to you about it.
yeah, she talked to me about it because she was like confronting me, like, do you really want to be doing this right now?
Yeah.
It was just awful. But anyway, we ended up like,
does this conflict with your gayness?
right? But like, long story short, I'm not friends with those people anymore. And long story short, the girl and I did keep like a pen pal relationship going for a
Right.
while after camp. So I don't know if that's. I
So
don't
did
know.
you draw dick pics on the letters, like because that was all you could do in '94 is like draw dick pics,
So while you're sitting there with your friends,
Yeah.
eating hamburgers and joking at the movie, was there like a single tear running down your cheek as you like remembered this horrible and traumatic?
I mean, for the most part, summer camp was all right, but like kids are
doesn't
mean
sound like
sometimes.
it.
Oh
yeah, kids are terrible.
Kids are mean.
Yeah, they are.
Like they just are for no reason. Like because like the people that did it were the people that I was actually friends with in actual real life, and I actually had to go home and see like afterwards.
Oh wow!
Like they're just bad dudes. But anyway, that's all I've got to say about heavyweights. No. Who's next?
I can go.
Yeah, do it.
So I went to band camp when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I didn't. Thankfully, nobody brigaded me with like seriously damaging shit to my reputation. I didn't have a great reputation anyway, but thankfully did not bring up any like really really terrible memories from my childhood. A few episodes ago, maybe 4 or 5, Christmas with the Cranks. We briefly bring up. We discuss briefly a different scale on which you rate movies, and we talked about the Shawshank Redemption scale. Heavyweights isn't gonna show on the Shawshank Redemption scale. Like you need a different scale for this kind of movie, and I would go with like the mischievous kids doing stuff movie scale,
Sandlot scale.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, people are gonna like
Shit, now we have to
lynch mob me
rewatch
for it.
Sandlot.
I've never seen the Sandlot.
Sandlot.
What?
That's a great
I know,
movie.
I know, and that's what everybody says. And I kind of wish that
killing
we
me,
watched
Smalls.
that. I know, I know that I'm killing you and that I'm small. But but so I look at Heavyweights from the angle of like you got to compare this to other movies that are about kids making mischief or like just kids being too smart for adults or whatever. Like you might want to put this next to The Little Rascals.
Mhm.
I haven't watched The Little Rascals in a while, but I'm pretty sure it's probably more enjoyable than Heavyweights. I think
Yeah, I'll bet.
on a 5-point scale of kids making mischief, Heavyweights is probably a 3.
Sure.
I enjoyed watching it. I watched it with a couple friends this morning.
Good.
Yeah, so like,
Did it teach you the value of friendship?
Well, kind of.
Burgers?
Kind of. We didn't eat burgers. We ate Chinese food, and then an hour later, we ate more Chinese food.
Am I the only person that didn't eat while watching this?
Yes.
No wonder I'm
You-
so freaking hungry.
You made a mistake, man. You need food to watch this movie.
Yep.
Hell, we needed food just to do this review.
Heavyweights is a movie without a lot of surprises.
Oh, really?
Well, kids going to fat camp, and it looks like it's going to be a great time. What's going to happen? Obviously, it's not going to be a great time, and then he's going to have to get his way out of this mess. You pretty well know everything that's going to happen in this movie right from the start. You see Ben Stiller's name in the credits, and you know he's going to play some ripped douchebag. That's that's what he does. Now, I love the Stillers actually, and a lot of people think I'm crazy for this. I love Ben Stiller. This is not his best.
No.
This is like proto dodgeball.
Yes, it's exactly proto dodgeball.
Exact same character he is in Dodgeball. Dodgeball is just an infinitely better and funnier movie. I didn't dislike this movie. I got a kick out of it. I thought it was fun. Around about the scene where they go to the dance and, homeboy takes one for the team and gets out there and starts dancing like a goon, and then everybody goes up and has some fun. I was like, all right, this movie's pretty silly. It's just a silly, fun movie about it's sort of like a bunch of outcasts, making friends and having a good time in the face of adversity. It's kind of like Benchwarmers that way.
Yep.
I like this kind of movie. This is a lens I like to look through. So I enjoyed it, but it's not particularly great.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's watchable. The kids are fun, the kids have a lot of personality. Enan is always ridiculously charming. He's just one of those guys that has always had a mountain of charisma for his whole life.
Yeah.
And he did then, still does now, always like watching him. He's always enjoyable. But there is one thing about this movie, even if you love it, that you can't deny, and it's a point we've brought up about many movies on John Hates Movies before. This movie doesn't realize that it's over when it's over.
Yeah.
You hear this sort of looming thing about the Apache relay throughout the movie, but there's not ever a reason that you actually care about it. Right. You don't care about this thing at all. So they resolve the conflict of the movie with the nasty camp counselor, and the story's fucking over. But then there's 25 minutes of this Apache relay shit. And it's not particularly exciting.
No.
Yeah, but
you
you
never won. And
you get to have
finally
the kids
a chance.
But who
winning.
cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? They just won. They just won their own thing, a thing that they decided to do on their own. Who gives a shit about this tradition? I mean, it would have sort of made a lot more sense. They did this right in Benchwarmers. When it comes down to the big game against the nasty jock kids, the turkey kids just play to have fun. They're losing like crazy. And the whole time they're telling the jock kids, hey, good job, man. That was awesome. Way to hit it out of the park. That was great. Cool. And the jock kids kind of come around and are like, hey, these kids are all right. Maybe we could just have some fun. And so Benchwarmers really nails that. And they also set the stakes on playing this game very solidly throughout the movie. The stakes in Heavyweights, it's all about Ben Stiller being a dickwad. So he's neutralized. The movie's fucking over. And then you do this long, weird thing where the asshole jock kids are just still assholes. And for some reason, arbitrarily stupid. Characters that you haven't seen before in the movie, by the way. This isn't the camp counselor Lars comes around somehow after they tied him to a tree and made him bait for wildlife. He comes around, you know what I'm saying? And helps.
That's purely out of self-preservation.
Probably. He knew it was time to play ball. But, so the end of this movie is for me where it got bad. And also, this whole go-kart race, you seriously had a go faster switch and you only used it at that moment? That just doesn't make any sense. And I get that they want that moment, but I don't know. But other than the ending being bad, this is a feel-good, kids getting silly and doing stuff and getting one over on the dumb adults kind of movie. I liked it. There were some things that made me laugh, particularly I don't know how this little guy managed to hit himself in the back of the head with a baseball bat, but I will admit that I laughed pretty hard at that. And there were a couple genuine laughs for me like that in this movie, where you got like chubby kids doing some pretty decent physical comedy, and it pleasantly took me by surprise, as opposed to every event that happens in the movie, which was no surprise at all.
Yeah, you know what? The performances in this movie were actually pretty, from the kids, were actually pretty good
in this movie.
Yeah, they did.
And they were of the age to start being able to, so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, because like kids under the age of 10, like if they can get the lines out of their mouth, that's all you can really expect. These kids are like up to the age where children actually start to develop a personality, and they cast this movie well in that they actually found a bunch of kids with personalities. I didn't have a bad time watching it, and I would say that you can probably watch it and have a good time. Probably don't watch it alone.
Yeah.
Find a couple of guys to eat burgers with, or in my case, like, a hungover fiance and her cousin. And like, you watch it with friends, and you're probably going to have a pretty decent time. For a movie of its type, it's solidly okay. I mean, that's what I know it's kind of lukewarm, but it's like, yeah, heavyweight.
That was damning with faint praise there.
Yeah. I also think it's perhaps overvaluing it a little bit.
Oh, well.
Okay, so who is next? James? Chris?
Yeah, I guess I'll do it.
All right.
First off, I don't know what any of you guys are talking about. You guys didn't mention anything about giant robot lions or, paladins or flying through space
Voltron?
and fighting. Yeah, I mean...
What?
I mean, that's what...
That's not even close.
Yeah. Did you just decide to watch Voltron?
Are you talking about Voltron?
I know that we watched this movie together, but like I watched Voltron in between, and I can really only hold one thing in my head. So I'm going to review Voltron now. All right, no. Hey. So like everybody else here, I watched this movie when I was a really little kid. I actually watched it with I think Dan and our cousins when we were over at Grandma's house ages ago. And,
it was all you, buddy.
Yeah, I loved it back then. Yeah, well, you weren't there, but but I loved it back then. And then I saw it was on Netflix like a month or two ago, whenever it first came back on, whenever Disney did its huge dump. I was like,
to describe.
And there was heavyweights.
Yes, and that is an accurate description of this movie.
Disney's
doing a huge dump.
So anyway, I started watching this again for a couple of reasons. One was I wanted to see if it held up. And two, I heard that it actually had like some adult stuff in it that was either like cut or like, alluded to, like Shrek, like there are jokes you don't get when you're a kid that you get now.
Right.
And I started watching it again on my own. And it was god-awful. Fucking terrible. But when I watched it with these guys and some burgers, it was fairly enjoyable. So this movie completely hinges upon the environment you're in when you're watching it. Because, like, if you're with friends and shit like that...
And your access to food.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie becomes a lot more enjoyable when you're by yourself just watching it. The lulls between scenes go on for fucking ever.
Dude, I can feel like I can feel that I would have an existential crisis watching this movie alone.
Yeah, it's really tough.
I'm serious.
Yeah, and most of the jokes do not land. But the thing is, when you're with friends and you're just sort of like having a good time joking and shit, and you have shit to distract you, you're actually able to pick up on a lot of the good jokes you missed the first time around. like Ben Stiller like doing the weigh-in thing, the second weigh-in. And he's like, getting it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gets on like the kids, and then like he gets on the second one, and he's like, okay, well, let's keep going. You get on the scale. Oh, and he's like, God damn it, what the hell is wrong with you guys? Blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, take 3. All right, kid, you get on the scale. Get off the scale!
Yeah.
Like, that's funny. Also, the line when like they're at the dance, and it's like, wow, these kids really should go on a diet. Maybe you should teach them to throw up after every meal like you do.
Yeah, that was some dark shit for him. Like,
that was fucking funny.
bulimia jokes in a Disney for middle schoolers. There you go.
Yeah. Another thing about that scene, The other really funny thing at the end was Ben Stiller. Like, Ben Stiller, when I first watched this when I was a little kid, we had no idea who the hell Ben Stiller was, and there was really only one, like, goofy, funny man in the world at the time, and that was Jim Carrey.
Damn right.
Yeah.
And so we were like, is this Jim Carrey? And then we're like, oh, no, it's not Jim Carrey. And then we were like, I remember all me and my friends, like, as little kids, were ready to just completely write off the guy as, like, a fucking Jim Carrey knockoff who's trying to be stupid and whatever. But he actually won us over by the end of the movie. We're like, holy shit, this guy's actually really funny. We were, and I think he was the main reason we liked it when we were little. But at the very end, when he's like, oh, great movie, but your villain is a little over the top. And then he backflips off the
Yeah.
It seemed like the way I got that was like when he grabs a glass and drinks it and then throws it on the ground. Like, that was a mistake. Like, he's like, psh, and then he's like, Chris goes, oh, he's not wearing shoes. And then he's like, but then, like, he grabs another glass to kind of be like, yeah, that was on purpose. Let me do this some more.
Right. He's just like, he's committed to the bit.
Right.
Yeah, now he's committed. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. The thing is that, yes, this movie actually was written a lot darker and a lot more skewed towards adults, or at least like, that type of humor, like adult like humor, more than it was before Disney like got a hold of it. I read through the list of like deleted scenes, and apparently on the Blu-ray there's like an entire fucking movie gone. Because like there was like 50 deleted scenes. Now a lot of that was just like scene building and like housekeeping scenes that didn't even need to be there, because Judd Apatow was just starting out, so they had no idea, like, oh, you actually don't need this guy to tell him that, like, they're serving mashed potatoes in the cafeteria.
Right.
Like there's a bunch of shit, like useless shit that was cut out, but there's a point in this movie where Ben Stiller is raiding the cabin, and, he's like, all right, tell me whose food this is.
Yeah.
If you watch this, none of their lips match.
Yeah, I did.
Right. Yep.
He goes, oh,
it's really bad ADR.
He goes, it's Seymour Butts. Well, who's Seymour Butts? No one's seen more butts than you.
Yes.
This is the actual line. All right, whose candy is this? Somebody better fess up and tell me whose candy this is. Kina, okay, all right, I'll tell you whose it is. It's Peter Fitz. What? It's Peter Fitz. All right, who's Peter Fitz? Who's Peter Fitz? Anyone's Peter Fitz if you push it hard enough.
That's so much better.
Yeah. I like that. That's just great. So anyway, apparently at the end, when like instead of the backflip and like the whole glass thing, apparently he steals a bow and arrow and threatens the kids and the adults with the bow and arrow at the end.
Yep.
There's one thing that I was looking for that I could not explain. In the beginning of this movie, the silent kid gets a nosebleed.
Yeah.
And it's never explained.
It happens again later, too.
Yeah. So, yeah, some of the other things that were cut were like Pat and the nurse, during the hedonistic night, they have sex in a boat.
Nice.
And
get it, Pat.
Yep. And apparently when the kids see the nurse, they talk about like getting physicals and about how they would get boners.
To be
so yeah.
Uh-huh.
The whole thing, like when I first watched this, I had to stop it after they kidnapped Ben Stiller. I did not remember that. The fact that the adult was like, okay, yeah, you're gonna stay there. I was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
This movie's fucked up. Watching it again with my friends, I'm like, oh, okay, I realize as a narrative. Because when you're watching this alone, this movie doesn't even seem to have a narrative or give a shit about narrative. Fucking meanders all over the place. There's no fucking, like, rhyme or reason. Like, it's like a slice of life, like Paul W. Anderson, whatever the fuck,
Paul
made
Anderson
Heavyweights.
Paul Thomas
and
Heavyweights.
Anderson. Yeah. A slice of life of a fat kid. This movie is a slice of pie, too.
Oh, boy.
Slice of life a la mode.
Which, by the way, this movie is actually really rude to fat people.
Yes, it is.
For all its body positivity, is very rude to fat people.
Body positivity wasn't a thing in the 90s.
That's true.
It wasn't.
It was not.
No.
It was not.
But, I don't know, self-confidence for no reason and fuck awards because the rewards was a thing, which were both in this movie.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the tossing the trophy in the lake was so 90s. Like,
oh yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, why would you do that? Like, why would you fucking do that?
Because we're not a part of your system, man.
Man, threw it on the ground.
I'm an adult.
But yeah, Lars changing was really weird. It was really weird him like being in the like, I don't know. That was really kind of fucked up when they tied up all the other campers and then they were spreading honey on his chest.
Right.
That was pretty creepy.
It almost became a different movie entirely for a second.
Oh, I better watch out for the bears out here. Like,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know. And then it's like, oh, don't worry, there's no bears in this woods. And I'm like, dude, there's always bears in the woods. But I don't know, John, we never went to camp or anything. And it's because most of the time the counselors had like explodey sticks that would like scare us away. But you know, I was
yeah, you guys were just out looking for like salmon and honey and shit.
That's right.
Picnic berries, picnic baskets,
the occasional walnut,
taking a nap in a cave.
Yeah.
Salmon is good,
Hey,
but honey hurts your face when you eat it.
Yeah.
Oh, the bears are here. They're among us.
I heard they put up a fence around some school so we can't get in anymore.
Oh boy.
No schools for us.
Boys.
All right.
No camps either. And no Germans. That sucks.
So James, you tied are you tied up?
Bears.
Okay, I guess I'll go.
Okay. Yeah, thanks, Chris.
Heavyweights, a movie about kids going to fat camp.
Yes.
Or as it would be in 2017, kids going to camp.
Uh-huh.
It's the only fat joke I'm going to make. I had to look it up to make sure that child obesity was still going up. So, because there's been less talk about it over the past couple of years.
Oh, yeah,
because,
body positivity.
A, that, and B, a lot of like, we start blaming child obesity on all the fast food restaurants. So all the fast food restaurants have switched around their campaign. So like, no, we have salad now. That's only 600 calories.
Hey, who bought them all the fast food?
Right.
You can't talk about fat
Who
people
gave
now,
out the
President gets upset.
participation trophies?
Yep.
Exactly.
Other losers. There's a lot in this movie that just cannot be done today.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've touched on bits here and there, even what got cut, which is funny. Some of the stuff that got cut, lines or other weird stuff, I can see that flying better than a lot of the just heinous shit. Just the interactions between some of the kids, just some of the not language but dialogue, just because it just stuff wouldn't fly and people just wouldn't be okay with it. It's like I'm really struggling for a good example because we watched this movie a fucking week ago,
Right.
and up until like a couple hours ago, the only thing I could remember from watching this entire movie, other than friends and burgers, but about the movie itself. I remember watching, and Lars takes over the cabin, and I'm like, what can go wrong when a German takes over a camp?
Oh,
See, that's why I switched side, because he's a joiner.
And frankly,
I was just following orders.
Oh, Jesus.
I love that it's a tyrannical fitness regime, but the reality is the shenanigans the kids get up to, like they do so much shit, like running around, like trying to hide and like doing up to no good kind of thing, that they're probably putting like more energy and whatnot than they would have if they had just done the exercise regime that like he was trying to put.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was thinking probably would have lost weight if they would just stop eating bullshit.
That's what I was thinking. Like when they're all running around and hiding and like climbing into windows and shit. I was like, how are these kids not losing weight?
Right.
But then
I thought the same
they
thing.
explain that with the magical stump that has, big boys in it.
Uh-huh.
I love that the kids keep doing it. That then Pat rolls up and takes 3 bags of food.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Sponsored by.
Yeah, Big Boy. Fat Camp sponsored by Big Boy.
Right.
I understand, they were okay, we're people too, kind of thing, and we're just, stop shaming us or whatever, and then they try to do this whole thing, we always lose to the jock camp. Well, stop playing the jock camp.
Play the girls' fat camp.
If it's such a detriment to the camps, the camp and the kids, stop fucking doing it. I'm not saying stop trying, but if you're not going to try, don't do it. Not that that's a good life lesson, but I'm just saying. It just seems like someone should have stepped up and done something about it. Or maybe taught them how to, run in gunny sack there or whatever, or potato sack.
Yeah. Practice your potato sack.
I love that Pat is actually, totally, okay, no, you cannot hold him hostage behind an electrified chicken wire prison. That's not okay. And then he's like, "You're all going down. Never mind. Let's do this."
Yeah.
As soon as he's
like,
very rude,
"I
keep
have
him
to
in
be
there.
the adult here. We can't do this. Never mind. He's a jackass." I am on board with that simply because jackasses don't deserve to win. But it's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Super fucked up. And it just comes to the realization of it's obvious that no one in any way, shape, or form during any of this movie was an adult.
Yeah.
I love that, after they defeat the tyrannical dictator, and overthrow him, they decide they want to stay in camp. But again, the only thing they have to look forward to is presumably losing against the jock camp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand that.
And putting Twinkies on pizza.
Well, they did that before. Their hedonist night happened before this, and that was ridiculous, hilarious. But kids would probably you put a bunch of 12-year-olds and give them all the food from the pantry kind of thing.
Kids are
I'm
gonna
pretty
put
sure
Twinkies
they're
on the
gonna.
pizza.
Yeah, that's gonna get.
Somebody's
nasty.
gonna try it.
Fuck, we're adults and we do that.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit cleaner about it because I don't want to have to take a shower after I eat.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so the best part of this movie, hands down, wizard shirts.
Oh,
Yes!
yeah!
That one kid had the dragon shirt I had.
The silent kid had the best collection of
somebody had a Fire Marshal Bob shirt,
fucking van art shirts, magical fantasy van art shirts, and they're just glorious. And then as soon as that kid shows up with one of them, James like, I had that shirt, and explains so much about James.
Yep.
Hey, we were fans of the wizard shirts, man. We loved them.
Still love them.
Man, do they make those things anymore?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, I should check them out.
Yeah,
you
now,
go.
Hey, you
ever
look great
since
in
the
one.
hipster boom,
They're-
people
they're-
wear them ironically.
James,
So,
I wanna
James,
wear
there
one
you
to your
go.
wedding, McMillan.
You gotta, you know what to get John for Christmas? Wizard shirts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then he can literally go around screaming, I'm a wizard. As if he doesn't do that already. Anyway,
do.
back to heavyweights.
I'm a wizard!
I also tried starting watching this movie before we had to watch this movie, which is why I was kind of excited that we ended up watching it, because I'm like, I actually wanted to watch it, but I could not get through it. And James like, I stopped after they locked up Tony. I'm like, I stopped probably after they introduced Tony. I did not make it far in this movie on my own. Watching it with friends is the way to go. So that's your lesson. If you want to watch a movie from your past, especially from when you were a kid, and you're like, I love that movie as a kid, and you're not sure it will hold up, get other like-minded people to do the same thing. Watch it with you, together, possibly with food. Probably with booze. And you'll have a good time, even if it's a bad movie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Life lessons.
And because of that shirt, I got to introduce Eric to Fire Marshal Bill.
Yes.
Yeah!
Yeah, that's true.
Let me show
All
you
right.
something.
So I'm sorry that's a dull end note, but I can't talk about this movie.
It's a heartfelt note. It's a good one.
And I'm gonna tie us up and bring us all home here. I did not have any friends with me when I watched this movie, nor did I have any food.
Oh, you did it wrong.
I get the feeling John did not enjoy this movie.
Not even Cheez-Its and coffee?
Not even Cheez-Its and coffee. It was a horrible, horrible experience. This movie is bad. No! I mean, it is bad.
Horrendous if you don't have friends.
Pacing is terrible. The script is trite and terrible.
Finally!
The jokes do not fucking land. And the worst part about it is that this is not a movie for fat kids.
No,
It's not. No. You know who this is a movie for? This is a movie
Parents of skinny
for
kids?
No, for kids who are raised by their moms. That's who this movie
John, that's
is
me and you.
for. I know. And well, no, that's what it's aimed at, though. That's why the two main characters is a kid who's obviously distant from his father and ends up building this warm, loving relationship with their camp counselor.
Yep. Okay.
That's where the
Figure.
feels. Yeah, that's where the feels are supposed to come from this fucking thing. And wow, does it not work?
Woo! It's about time. It's about fucking time John hated the movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's been a while.
True.
It's been a
We've been
while.
guilty of false advertising for a while.
Right.
This piece of shit
Oh my god.
was a total waste of my time.
Wow.
A total and complete and entire waste of my time.
You almost made me waste some
love-
beer.
I love movies with chart and harm. I have never seen.
This movie is full of shit and harm.
Shart and harm.
I'm so angry I can't even talk straight. I love movies that are full of heart and charm.
This movie had shart and harm
Yeah,
too.
Legit.
and like kids movies, even like on a Sandlot scale, this fucking movie gets a -0.5.
Whoa.
It is just bad. It is bad, and I don't see how anyone, even a 12-year-old, could have enjoyed this.
Oh, come on. They had a blob that they jumped on.
The blob is not a character.
For a 12-year-old, it is.
John, you're apoplectic, and I love it.
Oh my god, I hated this movie so much, and maybe it was because I was by myself, and maybe it was because I didn't have any food. And my god,
You also hate children.
and I hate children. So let's be fair too. But I think the part that made me hurt the most is that when right off the bat it says written by Judd Apatow. And I'm like, what? Is this going to be good? Within 5 minutes, I had my answer, and the answer was fucking no. No, it is not going to be good. There is nothing about that is going to be good. We have Jeffrey Tambor.
Yeah.
But you don't get to have him at all. We have
I was
Ben Stiller doing... We have Ben Stiller doing some sort of proto work, but
Yeah, he was laying the groundwork.
yeah, he was laying the groundwork, but it was obvious. I mean, like, here's the thing. Watching this movie, nothing that Ben Stiller does on screen is too terribly out of line.
Well, that's interesting that you say that, John, because when
Yeah.
they show the video of how awful he is, it's all shit you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Exactly. It all happens on screen. So on screen, I'm like, okay, yeah, he's a bit of a doof, but he's not a terrible person.
Right. You're just
Well,
to
he
buy
was
into
like
the idea
holding
that he's
all
terrible.
of their posts and apparently
stealing
taking away their
letters.
right to eat at one point. I think
Although that was hilarious. Lunch has been canceled due to a lack of hustle. Deal with it.
Yeah, but he's not awful. He's not like
he's
evil.
Yes, he's
and
not.
Ben Stiller can do evil. So
Yeah.
and so I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't they let the guy do evil? Why
Because they
wouldn't
didn't
let
know
him
he
do?
could do evil. This was
Oh,
1990.
I'll tell you why, John. It's
Disney.
mid-90s. The fact that he is corporate and excited about it means he's already evil.
Yeah, that's
Like,
evil
that's
enough.
evil.
That's,
In
he
90
is the
in
man,
95.
and the man is evil.
That's exactly it.
Yep.
Is you're supposed to, just the fact that he does a presentation that's not like, hey everybody, we're whimsical and likable, so have fun. Like, basically it's 95 and he gets up there and says something other than you can be an individual and do whatever you want. He is the bad guy.
You know, the more I
it's
look
people
back
like
on
him
it,
that killed Kurt Cobain.
yeah, the more I look back on it, the more I'm beginning to think that maybe I might actually hate the 90s. So the important take home here is Heavyweights is a piece of shit. Don't fucking watch it. And if you can find yourself a Wizard shirt, rock that shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back with your favorite part and mine.
And mine.
After the break.
Tally-ho, John Hates Movies listeners, it's Eric Largent with a quick reminder of how you can find us. The best way to stay appraised of all of our activity is to follow us on Facebook at John Hates Movies. There we'll post all of our new episodes as well as whatever we're feeling interested in at the moment. Please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast service like iTunes, Stitcher, or Podcast and Radio Addict. If you subscribe to us on iTunes, please leave us a comment. We read every single one and they're much appreciated. You can also follow us on Twitter at John Hates Movies or follow me on Twitter at Eric Largent. Now, stay tuned for the game and find out what movie we get to watch next week. And if you're feeling adventurous, watch along with us and leave us a comment on Facebook telling us what you thought of the movie. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is now time for your favorite part and mine. It is time for the game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
As is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie also gets to run the game.
Yeah.
So, Eric, what have you got for us?
Oh boy, I've got for you guys a very, very special game this week.
Yeah.
When I was thinking back to like things that I liked back when I was a kid and, you know, watching Heavyweights and doing all that stuff, it reminded me of a thing that was of the 90s that I haven't even thought about since then until just earlier this week when I came up with this idea. So I'm not even gonna tell you what's going on. We're just gonna like rip into it. All right.
Okay.
So here we go. You four are riding in a repurposed school bus. The seats rattle and shake with every bump that the bus goes over. You can see some of the seats, some of your seats even, are bowing under the weight of their occupants. That's because you're fat kids. You're fat kids on the way to summer fat camp. 4 weeks of nothing but healthy food and exercise. Or at least that's what you think. You arrive at the modest camp. The smells of nature overwhelm you. The smell of the trees and the grass are like nothing that you've experienced before. You're surprised that you don't smell any food grilling. You see, this is the longest that you've been outside at anything other than a barbecue. As you disembark the bus and unpack your bags, you settle into your cabin. And you get a chance to meet some of your fellow campers.
Hi, guys. I'm Fat John.
Hi, Fat John. Hi, Fat Chris. Who's your little friend there?
This is my little brother, Fat James.
Hey, guys. Man, it totally sucks that Mom is making us do this. They don't have any video games out here or anything. At least I was able to bring my sweet Mega Man pajamas.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty sweet, but I can do you one better. Check out these.
Whoa! Are those Final Fantasy PJs? I'm using my normal voice because I'm fat. You look exactly like the Black Mage.
That's right. Super comfy, too.
Hey, you guys seem pretty alright. Maybe this summer
Come on, let's make it so people can actually understand what we're saying.
Fucking like
fine.
Slow-mo, Chris.
Curly had a Twinkie in his mouth.
That's what I was going for. Currently, squirreling away food in my. Okay, fine. Hey, you guys seem pretty all right. Maybe this summer isn't going to be so bad after all.
I wouldn't count on it.
Who are you?
I'm Fat Eric. I've been coming to this camp for years. It's the same every year. The first few days aren't so bad, but after a while, the shakes set in.
What are the shakes?
The shakes? Yeah, they're milkshake withdrawals. You see, your body begins to go into shock due to the sudden lack of buttercream.
That sounds pretty bad.
That's not even the worst of it. After the first week, your muscles are so tired that you can barely get out of bed in the morning. And what's the point anyway? All they give you for breakfast is 4 almonds and a kale salad.
Gross!
How have you survived so long?
It's a secret. I don't know if I can trust you guys yet.
Come on, man. If you tell us, I'll let you wear the black mage pajamas.
All right. You see, I've got the hookup. Every morning, I have food delivered to an old tree stump in the forest. Burgers, hot dogs, fries, milkshakes, pizzas, the works. If you guys want, I'll let you in on it. You just have to help me come pick it up tomorrow morning. Okay. So, members of John Hates Movies, what do you do? Do you come out with Fat Eric tomorrow morning to pick up food from the tree stump? Or do you be a good camper and just hang out?
Ooh,
choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
This might be a choose your own adventure game.
Oh man!
Choose collectively or
How funny.
No, you. So
okay, I
Each
choose
individually?
to go with Fat Eric.
Okay.
I choose not to go with Fat Eric.
I choose to be a good camper.
Okay, James.
So this is you don't
I can't
rat
go
him
through
out.
shakes.
You don't rat him out. You just don't go. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not necessarily rat him out anyway.
Right, you
I'm
never
gonna
get
go.
that much agency
go?
in one of these
Okay.
books.
So
Right.
Chris and James are going
Fat
with
Chris and Fat James.
Fat Chris and Fat James are going with Fat Eric to go pick up some food. You wake up the next morning with a massive craving for cheeseburgers. You know in your heart of hearts that this is the right thing to do.
Yep.
You set out on your trek into the woods, and after about 5 minutes of walking,
You have to take a break.
after about 5 minutes of walking, your little cankles are barking so loud that you don't know if you can take this abuse anymore. You've never walked this far in your entire life. The only thing keeping you moving is knowing that there's a greasy cheeseburger waiting at the end of this rainbow.
Wow.
Rainbow of pain.
1 minute later, you're ready to give up and head back to the camp when you hear screams of another camper not far away. As you get closer, you see that Ben Stiller is holding him by the collar dangerously close to the edge of a cliff. Where's Fat Eric hiding the buns? Ben Stiller growls. Where's Falcone hiding the drugs? The other camper is shocked. He can't even get a single word in out of his horror. You think you might be able to help him, but you're also pretty sure that you can run away without anyone knowing. Chris and James, what do you do?
Running sounds awful because it's running.
James?
Run away.
Okay.
I'm going to try to help the camper then, I guess.
So James is running away. Chris is helping the camper.
I'm going to try.
Okay. So James, you watch in horror as Ben Stiller tosses the camper off the cliff. That'll teach you a lesson, you fat shit, he growls.
Oh no.
As you run away, you feel a rumble in your stomach. You know that it is the kale salad that you had this morning. The greens just don't agree with you.
Oh, no.
Despite your best efforts to stifle it, you let out a righteous peal of flatulence. It's the kind of trumpet blast that would accompany the skies opening up and the beginning of the second coming of the Lord. Ben Stiller spins around to see you trying to get away. Aha! Another fat shit to send down the cliff.
Oh, I got the Bombay Boogies.
He grabs you by the collar, and without even asking you a question, he dumps you over to the side of the cliff to your doom.
Oh no.
Oh.
You are dead.
What?
Oh, James is out.
Shit.
Chris.
You died.
Chris decided to save the kid. Chris, you've got an idea. You brought a bag with you so you could haul away all those tasty snacks on the way back to your cabin.
Damn right.
Ben Stiller is still shouting at the camper so he can't hear your chubby little footsteps sneaking up behind him. Just as he's about to toss the camper off the cliff, you throw a bag over his head. He spins around to grab you, but instead falls off the cliff to his doom. No, you fat little bastards! No! After surviving your harrowing encounter, you don't even give a second thought to the cheeseburgers that might have been in the stump and run directly back to camp. And now, James, you're not dead forever.
Okay.
This first one was just a
better?
test. Yeah, James is still in.
Okay.
I'm badly hurt, you guys, when I climbed up the cliff.
Weeks later, a few weeks pass without Ben Stiller at the camp, and things seem to be going pretty well. Ben Stiller, not whoever the character is he was playing. You're loving hanging out with your new friends that you've met, and the food isn't so bad. They aren't giving you cheeseburgers, but the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and the scrambled eggs seem to be hitting the spot. You're all walking down to the beach when Fat Eric runs up to you with some awful news.
Uh-oh.
You guys will never believe what the guy with the food hookup told me. He was over delivering some creatine and muscle milk to the kids at Camp MVP, and he overheard them saying that they were going to come and destroy the blob tonight. We can't let this happen. We have got to do something. You guys head back to your cabin to devise a plan. As you see it, there are two ways to do this. You can either wait in the water for Camp MVP to show up and ambush them when they get there, or you can head out onto the blob and stay there and defend it from their attack. What do you guys do?
I'm going to defend it.
I'm going to wait in the water.
Chris and Colin are defending the blob. John is waiting in the water. James, what do you do?
Remember, you're still
two
crippled.
people be on the blob at once?
Anybody can be on the blob.
Okay, I think I will wait in the water.
So Chris and Colin, you gather up your pointy sticks and smoke bombs and head out to the blob at dark. You know that if those dicks from the camp want to mess with the blob, they'll have to get through you first.
The blob!
Yeah. No one stopped the blob.
After a few minutes...
Nothing can stop the blob. Nothing can stop your mom.
After a few minutes of waiting on the blob for the attackers to show up, you start to feel weak and shaky. You realize that you didn't bring any food for your adventure and are starting to get low blood sugar. You think that you might be able to hold out, though. 5 minutes later, you and your whole crew are passed out on the blob.
Awesome.
Nobody is awake to defend the blob when Camp MVP shows up. They cut the anchor rope and attach it to the back of their boat and drag it back to their camp. You wake up disoriented and weak the next morning. You have no idea where you are, but you can hear the whirring of blenders from the MVP mess hall. They're mixing up their morning protein shakes. You know they're disgusting, but at least it's food. It's either that or make a run for it back to the camp. Chris and Colin, what do? Do you go get food from the blender or do you make a run for it back to Fat Camp?
Blender.
Protein shake.
You're both going to get the shakes. All right.
Wait.
Do we need a split?
Hold on.
Or...
You don't need to, but you could.
No, we gotta avoid the shakes. We need the
That was my thought too.
Okay.
Okay, all right. We're going for the shakes.
Okay, well, Fat Eric is also out with you on the blob. Okay. So he'll make the run back to the camp. So Chris and Colin, you stagger into Camp MVP mess hall and spot the nearest blender. You can hear the nearest bro talking to you as you stagger up to it. Yeah, bruh, this is my special blend. Strawberry protein and a banana and some pre-workout pump mix. You entirely disregard the bro as you detach the carafe from the mixer and chug the shake in one big gulp. To your shock, it happens to be the most delicious thing you've eaten in your entire life. The other MVP campers are so impressed at your feats of eating that they welcome you into their camp as one of their own. Yes. You put on a backwards Yankees cap. and where
I want to point out, I'm pretty sure Eric shuddered after he said the statement, you put on a backwards Yankee cap.
you put on a backwards Yankees cap and wear cool stutter shades. James and Chris and Colin.
Wait, is that the death scenario?
Chris and Colin, you are a bro now. You are dead. All right, so Fat Eric decided to try to run back into camp. Fat Eric, you head for the woods as you try to make your way back to Fat Camp. It's only 30 seconds before your legs begin to give out. You stagger on, but to no avail. You're useless without the power of jelly donuts running through your veins, Fat Eric. You lie there you lie there on the path for hours, knowing that you have surely met your doom. As you are finally ready to close your eyes for one last time and submit to the cold darkness, you hear a noise coming out of the woods. You hear the sounds of something very large rumbling out of the woods next to you. The beast examines you for a moment and then lifts you up. You can now tell that it is a Sasquatch. The big sass takes you back to his cave, where he feeds you some deer meat and nurses you back to health.
It's been like a day.
After a week has gone by, you realize that now you are strong enough to make it back to camp if you want to, but you don't. You love this gentle beast, and you decide to live out the rest of your days in the woods with the Sasquatch. You are a Sasquatch bride now. You are dead. Oh, all right. So John and James decided to hide in the water.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
James and John, you and your friends get in the water at around dark and wait for the bros from Camp MVP to show up. After about 2 minutes of trying to tread water, you are completely exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
You swim back into shore to try to get some life vests. Once you're back into the water with your vests on, you're finally ready to keep a watch on the blob all night. Hours pass, and Team MVP still hasn't showed up. After a while, the feel of the warm water and the gentle bobbing of the waves lulls you and your friends to sleep. There you float like 5 chubby little bobbers all night long. You wake in the morning to see that the blob has disappeared.
Oh no.
You swim back into shore, walk back to your cabin on your chubby, extremely pruny little feet. All right, now James and John, you're still in this game. You're not dead yet. It is the second to last day of camp, and you and your remaining friends are all abuzz with excitement. Later on this evening, the girls from the camp across the lake are coming over to your camp for a dance. You're all sorting out your nice clothes and practicing your sweet dance moves in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
You hear a knock on the door and turn to see Fat Eric letting himself in. This is the scenario where he didn't die to the Sasquatch. Right. Good news, guys, Fat Eric says. I was able to score some alcohol from my hookup. I'm going to spike the punch tonight. This dance party is going to be off the hissock.
Ah, yeah.
I'm sensing a theme here.
You know that it's bad to spike the punch, but you really don't want to tell on Fat Eric and get him in trouble. And besides, having everyone loosen up at the dance party might make for a pretty good time. What do you do?
Shit.
Do you spike the punch or do you tell on Fat Eric?
What do you do, John?
Yeah, do you narc out?
Okay, one of you has to do one of you has to do the other.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
James, what are you thinking?
I'm gonna go with spike the punch. That makes sense for me.
I'm gonna tell on Fat Eric. Damn it! And if you lose the game for me, James, I'm gonna be so pissed.
James, you decide to spike the punch. Later that night at the party, everyone's just standing around and nobody's having fun. Fat Eric walks up beside you. Hey, he says, go stand in front of the punch bowl and block everyone's view. I'm going to kick this party up a notch.
All right, I'm really wide. I can do this.
You go to block the punch bowl and Eric spikes the punch. You're excited to try this out, so you grab a cup and take a drink. It tastes a little strange, but it feels really warm going down. Pretty soon, you feel your inhibitions go away, and everyone else starts dancing like crazy.
Oh, yeah. I'm awesome.
Yeah. What you don't know is that Fat Eric is just smart enough to be really stupid. You see, the alcohol that he got from his hookup was actually racing fuel. It was supposed to be for the go-kart race tomorrow.
Oh, no.
All of a sudden...
So they'll dance faster.
All of a sudden, with no warning, all the dancers fall over, passed out. They are all poisoned.
Oh, no.
You are dead. John,
Yeah.
you decided to tattle on Eric.
Yeah.
John, as much as you regret it, you don't want this dance tonight to be ruined. So you tell one of the camp counselors about what Eric's planning to do. The camp staff call Fat Eric's parents and have them come pick him up, and he's expelled. Yeah, I know. Later that evening at the party, everyone's nervous to dance, even the camp counselors. You notice a beautiful girl standing on the opposite side of the hall from you.
She's a narc, too.
You wish you could muster up enough nerve and to go and ask her for a dance. All of a sudden, John, you remember the wise words of one of your mentors from back home. He speaks some wise words about basketball that you are just now barely remembering because you don't even play basketball. But he's like, John, shoot your shot, Jonathan, even if it doesn't go in. 2017 is the year of shooting your shot. Shooters shoot. Inspired, you cross the dance hall and ask the beautiful girl if she wants to dance. Somewhat reluctantly, she says yes. She's scared to dance too.
Sure, that's it.
As you dance, you begin to feel extremely awkward. You have no idea what to talk to this girl about. What do girls even like? This was a bad idea. If you don't say something soon, she won't want to dance with you anymore. John, you blurt out the first thing that comes to your mind.
Do you like Mexican food?
She says, yeah, totally. It's my favorite.
Have you ever heard of the original Stetson?
No, she says. John, you go on to explain to her that it's a massive steak taco filled with guacamole, pico, cheese, sour cream, and everything else. Then you brand a cowboy hat into the side of the shell before you eat it. That sounds amazing, she says.
Well, maybe would you want to go get one with me sometime?
Yeah, she says. That would be nice.
Aww.
John, the beautiful girl from the camp across the lake gives you a kiss on the cheek.
She's now your camp girlfriend.
John, you have
are
won.
dead.
Oh, no! Johnny, you won the game.
I thought he was going to talk about burritos that are mysterious and found on the counter.
See, like when I first started writing this, like whoever was going to ask if she liked burritos, but then I was like, can I make the original Stetson an official part of the John Hates Movies lore?
The original Stetson.
So Johnny,
yes,
you have won the game.
And a legitimate one, too.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
That's a straight up legitimate win.
Well, thank God he can't make us watch Superman again.
Yep.
That's okay, because I have something even better planned.
What?
Yes. So I know we've been on this nostalgia kick a little bit lately, and I've been thinking about some of the old films that I really enjoyed when I was a kid. And while we've revisited that well and tried to determine as to whether or not it held up or not, sometimes it did, sometimes it didn't, we've never had the opportunity until now to find out if an entire concept holds up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
We're not watching Superman 2.
No, instead, what we are watching is Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Fuck me, I'll watch Superman 2.
Wait, Big Holiday? Not...
Big Holiday. That's right. We are watching the 2016 Netflix original release of Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which we're going to find out whether or not the concept of Pee-wee, which works in Big Adventure, holds forth and can still be considered good in today's modern audiences. And I really want to make you guys all watch this because I thought it was pretty funny.
I have not seen this movie. I've never seen a Pee-wee thing.
A lot of people miss
I hate
this.
Pee-wee.
You never saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Eric?
No, I didn't.
I think a lot of people miss Pee-wee's Big Holiday, and I think that since I have control, I'm going to make you guys watch it.
Nice.
Yep.
Everything was going good until John Hates Movies podcast when a crazy new guy comes in and makes them do things and goes way too far.
That's John himself.
When the
right.
tyrannical host forces
That's right.
being forced into other things and pushes back. So it's actually kind of more of a revenge flick, but
Yes, Pee-wee's Big Holiday, The Revenge. So, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. You know what we're watching. We're watching Pee-wee's Big Holiday. So, tune in next week for the secret word. Is that still? No. Scratch that. Because that was the Pee-wee's Playhouse thing. And that makes no sense.
Yep.
Good night, everybody!
Good night. Woo!
A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say,
You are a bro now. You are dead.